Okay, so this is building your West Orange Chamber of Commerce profile. So ideally, I want you to go into this thinking of this as another social media platform or an about me section of your website. You want this to be updated, not just with your contact info, but what's going on in your business. Do you have any special offers coming up? Do you have any events coming up? This is the perfect opportunity to do so. But before we do that, we need to make sure that you have the right information up. So once you're logged into your profile, you're going to see when you go to edit my profile, there's going to be two options that come up. There's you, which is your personal option, and then there's your organization. So we're going to use my profile as an example because guess what? I'm also a member. So this is beneficial to you because I can log in from your end, not just from the administrative end, and actually show you how to do this. So you'll see what I have here pulled up on the slide. You'll see the top profile is me as a person. So this is the back end. This is not front facing on the Chamber's website. This is your personal information. This is where you're going to go if you want to update a credit card on file, if you want to see what events you're registered for through the chamber, and let's say you move your office and you need to update your billing address. This is where you're going to go for that kind of stuff. Now, the front facing stuff is the organization page. So that is the bottom level. So I am actually going to go into out of the slideshow for a second, and I'm going to go into my profile to show you what you want to do. Let's hop over to this next slide first, though. Okay, so we'll go back to that in 1 second. So you're going to see I'm going to the members only section in the header, and I'm going down to update your profile. So when you see update your profile, you see this is exactly what I was just showing you in the slideshow. I'm scrolling down, and you're going to see I have me and I have my organization. So I'm going to go to view profile and edit profile. So if you're following my mouse, I'm over it right now. You're always going to want to edit with the green button. And as I'm scrolling down, you see this is your back end. Mm-hmm. So this is the information that you want, like you're entering it on the back end, but your organization is front facing. So here you have the option to update your logo, your name, how you want it shown. So this might not be, let's say you have a really long legal name, LLC, doing business as, you're going to put what you want people to search for you as. This does not have to be what's on a legal document. It's what you expect your customers to search for your company as.
And I just want to chime in here. Sure. So where you go up again, so where you see organization name. So sometimes what I see, like I'm in the real estate business, right? So sometimes I see folks just writing the real estate brokerage name only, right? As opposed to their name, because they're looking for you, right? And so here I would say, like, if you're in that type of business where you're associated with a bigger brand, but you also want both to appear at the same time, my tip is like my name, Tesboro dash the company or whatever. So both are visible. So it's not just your name, or it's not just the company. People are connected to you.
Okay. Yes, exactly. So it's you as a person or you as your company. And then you can fill out all of this information, your contact, how do you want people to contact you, what your website is, your social handles that you want included. So for instance, my LinkedIn is my personal LinkedIn. I don't have one yet for my business page, which I should do. But for now, this is blank. So just because it's there, it's also not required that you have to fill it in, but the more info you have, the more contact info you have, the better.
We should add Instagram. I don't know if we have the capability.
So we don't, but I'm going to get to that. But you can add that in the section as a hyperlink. But I will get to that. There's a few things that we're still waiting to see if they'll have updates on, and we can include that. So you'll see I don't have an address added. There's a lot of us members here that are online businesses, so we don't want our home address showing. So this is a situation where you want your home address in your personal profile, but in your front-facing business profile, you do not want your address showing. leave it blank. These are not required fields. Okay, you'll also see your financial history when you log in. So if you
But
need,
if there is, sorry, if there is a physical location, then this is where they should add it, right?
yeah, and I'll go in there right now if you want to see what that looks like.
Okay.
It is fields that you can add in and then just hit save address. It's very simple. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel out of that and keep going. So the contact section, depending on what level your profile is, you'll have a certain amount of people that you can add on to have access to logging in for events. If you have someone that does the billing for your business, you can add them in for that. And you're going to do that here under the contact section. And what you would do is select the green button, which says add new contacts. So this will also give you the opportunity where if you want them showing on your profile, you can have that showing as well. So for instance, I am the only person on my business because I'm a sole proprietor. That's how I'm registered with the chamber. And let's scroll down. Okay, so now to the good stuff, the listings. Okay, so you'll see down here, your directory listing is listed as, it says directory category, and then there's a little green button. It looks a little bit different than the other green buttons that we've been using, but you're going to hit the green edit button. Okay, now in here, some windows are going to drop down and you're going to put in your content, which is your, basically think of it like an about me page. So I put in my basic bio, what I offer, and then as to what Tess just mentioned before, where we don't have an Instagram field yet, and we also don't have a link to sign up for a newsletter, I included those as hyperlinks. This is a basic, like if you know WordPress, basically any type of a text field. So you can add hyperlinks, you can add an image in here if you want, you can do a lot of different things. So what I would recommend is, in addition to putting what you offer and a little bit about your business, if you have other social profiles that you want, let's say Instagram, for instance, or let's say you're in the medical field and you want to link to a lot of your patients might use ZocDoc. You can link to your ZocDoc profile here. You can link to all of your doctors' ZocDoc profiles in here. If you have a newsletter, we all know that newsletters are the way of contacting everyone, like everyone's moving more towards newsletters more than social, because your social media page can unfortunately disappear at any time because you are being held accountable or in the hands of a different company. You own your newsletter. So I highly recommend putting in a link and any type of incentive that you might have for people signing up as a hyperlink through here. If you are not familiar with how to do a hyperlink, it's very easy. I'm just going to use any word as an example. You're going to highlight the word, and then you're going to go up to where you have hyperlink options. You click on that, and then you would type in the address. I always recommend to everyone to open in a new window because you don't want to navigate people away from your content. You just want it to be available for them to view in a new window. Okay, and then you would hit apply. I'm not going to do that here because I don't want to hyperlink that specific word, but it's very easy to do. And then if you need to edit it later on, you go in here again, you can update the link to anything you have and press apply again. Okay. So then what we're going to do is select our categories. So the category is the directory for the chamber. The list of in the list of directories, it goes by categories first. So chances are people, if they're coming to us to look for a business, they're looking by categories. They're not looking by the specific name first. So if you are in the medical field, you can choose whatever categories apply to you, whether it be physician, whether it be physical therapy, dentist, whatever category you want, but you can also choose multiple ones. You might lie in 2 of them. I personally chose retail. So you can select see the list, and there is a long list of categories. If you do not see your category here, or if you would like me to add a category that better suits you, you can send me an email at mail@westorangechamber.com, and I can add the category for you. And it's something that I would be able to do immediately as soon as I get the email. So this is a fast turnaround.
So, I mean, for folks who may be watching on Facebook, I'd love to hear like if there's already members and they don't see their category here, right? Like what are some categories that your businesses are in? So we can work on adding for you. And this section that you're showing us how to add that summary, can you go back up again? I'm actually logged into my profile myself and I'm trying to implement as you talk. So where do we find that again?
So this, if we go back where we were, was if this is all the way, so this is when the page originally looked like when we were going over
right
the portions of this. And then when we got down to the listings, you see this button that my arrow is going around, the edit button. When you press the edit button, this window is going to open up.
Got it.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to the slideshow really quick and make sure we are still on that slide. Okay. Yes, so let's go back to the slide for 1 second before we continue. So this is what we were just doing. We were just editing contact info, our directory, our category. And see, when you select an action tab, the section will open up into that editable field. So this is where you can edit everything. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the images. Okay. So the images are actually all the way at the bottom. And it's very easy. You can upload, you can drag and drop. And what I recommend is that you have a mixture of images. Now, keep in mind, I'm a jewelry brand, so of course mine is going to have pictures of jewelry and lifestyle photography. But also, what I've done is you can see here, I am a registered sustainable, New Jersey sustainable business. That gives you, things like this give you credibility with customers. If it's a person that cares about this type of a thing, it's important to them. You can also include images of awards. It doesn't just have to be your product, but give people an overall view of you. This could be a headshot. If you're a realtor, you might want to include your headshot on here so they know who they're speaking to. If you're a doctor, you might want to include a picture of your office so that people feel comfortable with you. If you're a retail store, include a picture of your storefront in case it's hard to find. People want to know what building they're looking for, or even what office door they're looking for. Anything that you think will help educate your customer can go in this section. And so far, I mean, I've been adding pictures frequently. I'm unaware of what the limit of pictures is because I have yet to reach it. So I would recommend putting as many as you want because this is going to show up as a slideshow in your profile, and I will show you that afterwards.
And just a side note, we have, I believe, sent out communication on how to achieve that sustainable business, right?
Yes, we did. And if you need more information on it, I can always send that out again.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the slideshow. Okay, now these are just some suggestions that some of them we've already touched upon. Some of them I'm going to go back and show you how to do them, but add the hyperlinks in your description for sections that are not offered. And these are things that you can frequently change. So these can also be if you have an event going on and you are linking through a server that sells tickets, like Eventbrite, you can include that there. The next thing that I'm going to show you is this next bullet point, which is how to add a special offer for added exposure. So the offer will be shown in your category, not just in your profile, which will increase the chances of someone clicking on your profile. Okay, and the other ones we actually also just touched upon, which is in using images to highlight awards and accomplishes to build credibility and to update frequently as if this is a social media platform. And now I'm not saying daily post pictures or anything like that, but the way that you would in your Instagram or Facebook or in your Instagram little header, you would include an update. Let's say you had an event coming up, you would include it in your profile header, or as we do in the chamber, you should update it as needed. Okay, so now we are going to go back. I'm going to show you how to add a special offer and what that actually looks like on the front end. Okay, so below all of your, below this field box, and then where you would include all of your social links and any front-facing address that you want showing, there's a special offer box. You don't have to press anything for this to open up. That first edit button will expose this. So I personally have an event that I'm going to be selling at on Sunday. So I'm including it as a special offer, shop in person, 20% off. And then what you do is you choose the date. So just writing it in here is not going to make this pop up, just so you know. This is a time-sensitive offer. So you have to select when it is good for it to actually show up. And now I'm going to show you what this looks like. Here we go. Let's go to the directory, okay? Now I know that I'm in the retail section, so I'm just going to quickly go to that. So when you go to the category, this is what you see is the list of our members. Now, keep in mind, you need to be a member to show up on this list. So if you're watching and you want to be listed on our site, you need to become a member, which I can gladly help you with afterwards. Okay, so I'm scrolling through, and you see how everyone's profile has, some people have filled it out, some people have not, but when you get to mine, you'll see that there's an asterisk with a special offer. And then people will most likely, if there's something, they're like, oh, I want to know more about this. What am I getting 20% off of? Then they can go and click on this. So now I will show you what the front-facing profile looks like versus what you were seeing now, which was the back end.
It almost looks like a mini business site, right? Like it has your name, your business name, has your logo.
Exactly. And then they have the slideshow.
Okay, so the pictures, the images come up as a slideshow. Okay.
As many images as you want to add, go for it. Like I said, I have not reached a limit yet. So feel free to keep going, okay? So I personally do not want an address showing because I don't have a physical location. So it just shows the zip code, which I entered, which is the West Orange zip code. That's why you see this map of the center of West Orange, okay? And then you'll see the connect. I chose that people can only contact me through phone or email, the About Us section, and you'll see how the info is highlighted. I'm sorry, the info is hyperlinked, I mean to say. And then that special offer again. Okay. So
Go ahead.
And then ends with contact info again. Okay, so that is what your profile looks like.
So I would just encourage everyone, whether you're a chamber member or not, to go to our website and go under the directory. Like anytime you need, services or products, it's a one-stop, shop of where to go. When I first joined a few years ago, that's exactly what I did. And also for networking, right? I went down the list and identified the people I wanted to connect with. So I think it's great practice. Mm-hmm. So for people, I love how that worked out for folks who have product-based businesses, right? So for people who have service-based businesses, right? So, I suppose someone can decide to say a percentage off their service or something like that. I'm thinking also maybe would it make sense to use that field for events or something that's happening around there?
Which field specifically are you
special offers? Something special that's happening in the business.
Yeah, it doesn't need to necessarily be a discount per se. It can be a pop-up event, or if you have a promotion, like I know at the beginning of the school year, a few doctors had sent us flyers saying we're doing physicals for your ingoing students for their physicals. It can be something like that, like a reminder to people, like you need us now for this reason, or something that's going on with your business at that time. Yes, it does not have to be just a specific sale.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to go now to the slideshow again. Okay. Okay, so now if you have any questions about what we've gone over, this is a great time to go through it. But I'm going to go over a few frequently asked questions that I have gotten. How do I add or edit an employee? That's going to be the contact section that we went over, where depending on your level of how you're registered with the chamber, that depends on how many people you can add on. So me as a sole proprietor, I'm not going to be able to add on someone that I can't say, oh, I want my accountant to have access to paying my bill and add them in there. I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm a sole proprietor. If your business is set up as 2 to 25 people or 26 to 26 and up, you'll be able to add that person easily. If you're having difficulty doing this, you can always send me an email and I can add them on my end, or I can walk you through how to add them if you are not remembering. But there's always, whenever you're looking to add anything, just look for the little green button in the bottom right section of where you are or where you are working in. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. This is another one that I've got a few times, is my contact info is displaying my personal info. What happened? Make sure you are editing the correct profile. So you want to make sure that you're editing your back end to show your business info to the chamber, and your front end info, which is your organization option, to be what you want people to see. So if you have your billing address as your home address, that should be in the personal profile. And then your physical location address is the one that you're going to want to have in your organization. Okay. So now this is going to be another one that we're going to do together. Is the I have an event coming up. How do I add it to your calendar? Okay, so we are going to go to the website, the chamber website right now, and we are going to select the community events and add an event. All right, hold on 1 second, and I will get us to that right now. Okay, hold on. Actually, sorry, 1 second. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Okay, so now we are looking at the chamber events page. We're going to go to the community calendar. So we're going to go to the community calendar, and this is, takes a second to load. This is the calendar that is submitted by members, not by the chamber. Okay, so if you see where my mouse is right now, right where it shows you that you're logged in, it says add community event. Okay, so you can, again, only do this if you are a member of the chamber. And this is going to look like the field that we did our About Us section. So you're going to add your event name, the description, when it starts, when it ends, the location. If it's digital, you can put a Zoom link or whatever other link you're using. And basically all the info, okay? And then when you submit this, I am going to get an email to approve this. So I will go through this and make sure everything looks okay. And if you are a member, this is going to get approved. Okay, and then I will show you now what an event page looks like. Okay. Okay, so we are going to go to, you can add images. So this is actually our, we have our Thanksgiving luncheon coming up in November. So this is what the event page looks like. You can have a picture, and then you can have text, and then your time, date, your information. And then if there is a ticket option, which there will be added to this one soon, it'll be right below the more info section. And this will be updated soon with ticket options. Okay. So let me know if there is anything that anyone has any questions on. Tez, do you see any questions coming in through Facebook?
I am monitoring the page. I don't see any questions yet, but I do want to show something cool. If you want to go back to the edit page that you were showing, I was just, as you were explaining, I was just playing around with the different sections, and there's something pretty cool to kind of keep the networking going once we go through an event. So I'm happy to share if that's easier. You're on mute.
Yeah, if you could share, that would be great. I'm not sure which part you're referring to.
No problem. Okay. So I am sharing my screen. Hopefully, can you see it? Yes, thumbs up. Okay, perfect. So this is where Georgia was showing us, right? So this is the update information, updating our profile page. So, we went through the different sections you showed us, and this I thought was interesting, the financial history and the participation history, right? So if you attended a meeting or an event, that one of the Biz 2.0 lunch and learns that we've had, and maybe you didn't get a chance to connect with the speaker or anything like that, I was just playing around with what this email itinerary meant. And I emailed it to myself, and I got a really nice PDF that went out that said, it looks like an invoice, right? So it says Chamber of Commerce, it says the name of the event and who the speaker was and where it was and stuff like that. So let's say you didn't get a chance to speak with or connect with the speaker, or even if you wanted to connect with someone that was in attendance, but you didn't get a chance, I'm sure if you were to reach out to the board members or Georgia, we'll be able to, connect you, right? So those are like the things that I wanted to show you. And also it shows you the investment that you're making. So you see here $0. That's because I'm a member. Each of these events, is it $10, Georgia, or 20? That $10, right? That we charge. So for non-members, which I think is still a great value. So this is also a great way for you to know how much you're taking advantage of your membership, right? So if you add these up and all the benefits that we talked about, it starts to make sense, right? And with any organization you're part of, whether it's networking or a chamber, it really is how active and intentional you are with the tools that you're given, right? So just being a member by itself doesn't mean anything if you're not completing your profile to optimize. I mean, I've learned a bunch of things here that I'll take actions on, right? Like making my profile a more complete bio, for example, and, being creative with that special offer, because I always got stuck with that special. I thought it was a really nice tool, but I'm in the service industry and there's nothing that I can, give 20% off of or whatever. So this is a great way to use I can use it for events. I think the images, being able to upload awards or different things, as it relates to the business is really nice, or items of value. And the community events, right? Anytime we're planning something, we can submit it there. I think those are all great. So I thought this was, pretty cool to show of the value, right? Your membership versus, what you're getting. And you can kind of do more to figure out, oh, what was that event about? When did I go, right? And just to kind of continue building on the content that you're learning and the connections that you're making. So that's all I wanted to share.
No, that was great. That's good to know. I actually wasn't aware of that because I normally don't have to sign in for the accounts because I'm always there. So that's great info to have. Okay, so I am just going to go back to the slideshow real quick. Actually, that was the end of the slideshow. So if you have any questions or, want to go a little bit more in depth on anything, you can either ask it here or you can email me at mail@westorangechamber.com. I can also make the slideshow available and email it to all of our members. And now we'd like to dive into our Q&A. So if there's any questions that anyone has about the chamber, now this doesn't have to be about what we just spoke about, it could be about anything. We can go into any topic of our benefits or Anything that you'd like to know about the chamber?
Well, why don't we give them an overview of the benefits, right? So people are, whether folks are watching live or they're watching this on a replay, they may say, okay, I mean, this sounds like something I can benefit from and that can help me grow my business outside of completing my profile, right? What are other benefits? So maybe we can share a little bit about that.
Sure. Outside of long-term benefits and the community that you're joining, that will most definitely lead to connections that will be beneficial, the immediate benefits of the chamber. Once you join the chamber, you have access to our Biz 2.0 series for free, which is normally $10 for non-members. So that is once a month. And that is when we have a guest speaker. And the topics have ranged from everything to business education in the legal department, accounting, HR. There are a variety of things that the Biz 2.0 events cover. So that is just one benefit, which that in itself is $120 value right there.
Yeah.
You also get a 2-minute commercial through our local TV. Now, we provide you the connection to have this advertisement for free, which would be looped on TV 36. You provide the content. So we can give you the format to shoot the content in, and then we will get that aired for you. That is a very big perk of the chamber. We also provide ribbon cutting events. So if you are opening a physical location of a store, we want to celebrate that. We want people to know that. So we will come and help organize and promote through our press contacts and our email lists, and we will help you have a ribbon cutting event. And then opportunities. We offer you opportunities that you might not be able to get otherwise. You will get the first opportunities to sponsor at events. For instance, our Thanksgiving event, the first people that are going to have the opportunity to sponsor these events are going to be our members. And why is that beneficial? Why do you want to have a first dibs at that? Because certain sponsorships are limited, like a presenting sponsor. There is only, one slot for presenting sponsor. So we want our members to have the opportunity to snag that presenting sponsorship first. They'll also have the opportunity to be speakers themselves. We have had members speak at the Biz 2.0 events, and being a speaker at an event is also beneficial because you're speaking to your potential clients also. So you're building connections with people who will hopefully in the future think of you when they need something. For instance, I said before that I don't have a LinkedIn profile for my business. I know I need one. Bryn Tillman, who is a member, spoke about building out your LinkedIn profile and how to make those conversations into basically how to make them fruitful. So I know once I get down to that on my list of many, many things that I have to do for my business, I'm going to contact Bryn to help me build that out. So there's a lot of connections to be built in various ways, not just by being a member, but we also have our, we're going to be starting up soon again with our evening networking events, which is a great opportunity. There's a lot of opportunities. Also, it's like Meg from the Downtown Alliance said this about the Downtown Alliance, and it also stands true about the chamber. Think of us as a team member. Think of us as when you have something that you want to promote, send it my way and I will help you promote it. I send out monthly emails asking for content. So when you have something going on, whether it be, and it doesn't have to be a sale, it doesn't have to be a special. Let's say you've signed on a new doctor in your practice and you want people to know about it. Send me that info. I will include that in our email blast. I will include it in a Facebook post, whatever is relevant. If you have an offer that you want shared, we have a few gyms and physical fitness professionals in our that are chamber members, and they frequently send me what they're offering, which is really great content. Our members want to share that with us. So if you want the most out of your membership, my recommendation is to be in touch with me frequently. Whenever you have something new going on, let me know, and I want to help promote your business. That is what we are all about. We are about building a community and being active members in the communities.
And that is the key, active members, right? So that's a great segue to, so yes, we're back to hosting events in person. What that also means is if you're a chamber member, whether you're raising your hand to be a speaker to, and there's a variety of topics. I mean, we've had topics about how to balance, work and life. And that's actually one of the events that pulled me into the chamber a few years ago. I was like, oh, the chamber talks about stuff like that, right? And we're very intentional about diversifying our speakers. We want our speakers to represent our membership base and our business population, right? If you have space, so if you have a practice of some sort or a space that can accommodate, 20 or so people, we would love to be able to host events at your space. So what this does is it brings chamber members and non-members who may or may not know your business exists, or maybe they drive by all the time and they've never been in there. And so that's a great opportunity for you to strike up conversations, right? And the thing about business is it's not just directly, or someone knows I'm here, they're going to purchase a product or service from me. Sometimes it's those strategic connections, right? So maybe I'm not your ideal client, but maybe I can connect you to someone who may be, right? And so there's a way to provide value that way and get value as well. And Georgia mentioned about community. Literally, as I'm sitting here on my other screen, I'm getting an email from the high school. So we partner with the community as well, not just the business community, but the school community. Some of you who may have high school kids in town may know that we have something called VEI, or Virtual Enterprise International. It's an entrepreneurship business program that only started a few years ago, but it's being led by great teachers and advisors. And they partner with us, business owners in town, to coach the students, right, to prepare for their business world and their curriculum. And I was actually there last week interviewing high school students for their roles in their virtual business, right? And it's a really, satisfying thing to see and to give back to the community in such a meaningful way. And perhaps there could be some mentorship, relationships that could develop from there as well. So it's not just about business to business. We're intentional about investing in the communities that we live and work in as well. I mean, if you just ask, I feel like the board that's here now is sort of like a yes person in terms of like, okay, how can we make that possible? And we're very open to ideas and collaboration. And so we invite you to propose ideas or, how to leverage your membership more. So those are also sort of other ways to maximize your benefit above and beyond maybe the tangible things you may see on our websites.
Great. Thank you, Taz. That was great info. So now before we close this off, I do want to let you know about some of our future events that are coming up. If you are a chamber member, we do have a special vote coming up Tuesday morning at our monthly board of directors meeting. So you should have received a hard copy letter in the mail, as well as an email yesterday with the link to the documents that we'd like you to review beforehand, and a link to the Zoom meeting that will start at 8 a.m. sharp for the vote. So after that, I would like to also let you know about our next Biz 2.0 event, which is happening on November 16th. And our guest speaker will be Kerry Heslin, and the topic will be the essential tactics to combating unconscious bias in the workplace. Unconscious bias can affect all aspects of employment relationships, from resume screening to promotions and performance evaluations. So we will dive deep into how to understand unconscious bias, why it exists, the different types of unconscious bias, and ways to overcome them. And then I would also like you to all save the date for November 23rd, because we are going back to our in-person annual community Thanksgiving luncheon. This is an opportunity for us to all join together and show gratitude and be thankful that we were able to meet in person again, and to return back to a slightly normal Thanksgiving luncheon. This will not be available online until after the event, so we encourage you to save the date, and once tickets are available, please purchase a ticket. Sponsorships are available, and those opportunities will be shown soon, and we hope to see you there. And that is pretty much everything, unless there are any other questions or comments. Taz, was there anything from Facebook?
No, but just to add to what you just mentioned, so our bylaws, just like a lot of organizations, were sort of needed to be updating, right? So if you look at any organization, especially nonprofits, chances are the way you operate versus the way the bylaws are the bylaws are probably outdated, right? And so we're grateful to have a team within the chamber. We have a lawyer, Paul Pettigrew, and his team who worked hard for months on updating this, getting feedback from the board members, and now they've worked on it, enough that it's ready to be presented, and it's really just to update it to align with the way that we're already operating, right? To make it more relevant. So we're grateful that they've invested that time, and we have the talent and skill sets within in-house, so to speak. So that's why it's important, and we want our members to know, the changes that we're making. So that's why the letter was sent out to you in advance. So please, there was also a link for you to preview the documents ahead of the meeting, so you know what the changes are. And then the point that you made about the Thanksgiving in person, yeah. So that's also actually a great networking opportunity. It's usually a very well attended event, and you'll run into or get to see community members from different walks of life. So it's great to strike up conversations on any number of things. So it's a great opportunity to invest in yourself personally and professionally, quite honestly. So I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you, Tess. Thank you so much. And I want to thank everyone who has joined us and viewed this. This will be pinned to our profile and available to be rewatched. So you'll have the opportunity, if there was something in the beginning that you'd like to pause, try it out on your profile and then go back to, you'll have that opportunity. And you can always reach me at mail@westorangechamber.com. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.